This is a slightly different story, rather, a story of a different person, the one who does things differently. In this time of recession, layoffs, and competition, this man's job is hardly affected. Technically, he fixes bullets for a living. In actuality, he is a world renowned bullet expert. Meet Mr. Gurunandan, an IISc MTech graduate who turned down a well paying corporate job to find his niche in what he loved the most: bullets. Seldom do you find people choosing passion over money. Switching his profession was initially difficult, says Nandan, as this choice requires courage to let go of the security of a salary. But his success in his bullet garage was quite inevitable, given his passion and hard work for the job.
Well, I tried several jobs, in fact, almost a dozen of them in so many years. Right from automobile companies to software. So I found the problem is the same everywhere. We are a small part of a very big job or a picture or an operation, and that doesn't really give you any satisfaction because you are doing the same job every day and you don't see the result of that. Nor is that small job inspire any confidence. So I thought that this is not how life should be. So then the only improvement I could think of was that I had to work in an area where the passion lies. So motorcycles was it.
His customers unanimously agree that his knowledge about the vehicle is exceptional, and therefore they trust him with their vehicles. Nandan has a selective customer base. Apart from Bangalore, his customers come from various parts of the state, country, and the world for advice on their bullets, or simply for the pleasure of speaking to this connoisseur.
Well, I first encountered Nandan's name on the web, and I found lots of interesting things on his site, so I figured that I needed to get in touch with him. At that point in time I lived in Bangalore, and so I rang him up, his number was there, and then came to meet him. This was many years ago, probably 5 years or 6 years ago, and I found him to be a remarkable sort of a person who seemed to know a lot about it, an encyclopedic knowledge of bullets in particular. And so I figured that's where I wanted to be.
I was told that Nandan was an MTech from Indian Institute of Science who turned to servicing motorcycles purely out of interest. So that would imply that the person is doing it entirely out of interest and is obviously an expert, which is why I went to Nandan. And Nandan turned out to be just that. So Nandan is an expert in what he does. And in today's world, we have a shortage of experts. We have a lot of people who are mediocre, who claim to be experts, but real experts are lacking. Nandan is one.
Having absolute faith in his choice of profession, Nandan strongly recommends the youth to follow their interests than give in to the societal pressure while choosing one's career. Nandan believes that career is not independent of one's life, but a part of it. Therefore, one needs to carefully choose one's profession, lest he might end up frustrated all his life.
I would say that it's important that they choose a job which they feel passionate about, because right now what happens is their parents push them into medicine or engineering, and if they are not interested in those two, then they are going to have a very sad life. So people just jump into a field which can get them a lot of money but they forget that everybody else is trying the same thing. So it's like a dog fight there, and nobody gets a proper meal. Although there's a big amount of it there, people spend their energy and life in fighting, and they never get what they were after, except a few lucky ones. So I feel since we live only once, it's a big waste. They should have been a bit more focused on their goal, which is not money, which is happiness.
I've never had a chance of going to another mechanic because he's been so comfortable with me. And what I find from the other group of my friends who have been with various other mechanics and have now finally settled down with Nandan is that his work is just a superb and ultimate. There's no compromise when he does his work. And even when there's a flaw in when he's doing something that may go wrong, he at least calls you back and has it rectified without being charging you a bombshell what the other guys would do. Because generally when it comes to bullet, people just stay away thinking that, that the amount you need to shell on the bike for maintaining it is very high, but with Nandan it's totally different. It's on a one-time contract. He charges about a little bit of money, and then for 1 whole year we are with him for servicing and all that kind of thing.
Bullet expert Gurunandan is one of the few who opt out of the rat race and choose to live their lives on their own terms, and incidentally an ideal example of self-sufficiency in a struggling economy.